Thank you for joining me once again. This is your book reviewer, Ebony, coming at you. So this book is the extra book for the month of May. And yes, I'm getting it in before the end date. I know, I kind of be waiting until the last minute, you know? Like, I actually finished this book like over a week ago. Now, at least 2 weeks ago. And so, yeah, I'm just a tad bit of a procrastinator sometimes. But we are getting it in before the end of the month, so I am safe. So, extra book of the month is called The Perfect Mistress by ReShonda Tate Billingsley. And the person that suggested the reading of this book is Angel Jordan. So Angel, once again, thank you very much for your book selection. So let's go ahead and get into this juiciness. Okay, so this book is about Lauren Robinson and her, well, dysfunctional family. The story started out with Lauren pretty much being guilt-tripped and manipulated by her father, Vernon. Okay, so Vernon is a rolling stone, although he is married with children. Lauren, at an early age, is in the position of having to decide to keep quiet about her father's indiscretions or tell her mother. Well, Lauren keeps quiet because she's a daddy's girl, and the gifts and the manipulation and guilt trips her father dishes out affect her decision to keep quiet. Well, eventually that manure hits the fan when Lauren's mother, Joyce, finds out about yet another side chick / mistress of Vernon's. Vernon's behavior had lasting effects on all of those involved. Vernon was a serial cheater. Not once, not twice, but a few times over the course of his marriage to Joyce. And Joyce knew of some and didn't know of others. The behaviors and the views of the parents trickled down to the children. Lauren didn't want to be like her mother. She didn't want to be made a fool of for the sake of love. She viewed loving a man as a bad thing that would only lead to hurt, pain, and misery, and, well, looking like a fool. Her brother Jillian initially hated his father for what he did to his mother and their family. Jillian didn't want to be anything like his father Vernon, however, found himself in the same predicament. And Joyce just couldn't get over the betrayals and became a very bitter woman. Okay? This story took you on a journey filled with drama with this family. You know, while reading this story, I couldn't help but think that I've read it before. But you'll have to read the book too to see how all of this debacle plays out. There is plenty of drama and shenanigans all up and through this story. This story will give you some tips if you want to be a perfect mistress. Okay, so I mean, you can use it for, you know, tips. This could be a cautionary tale for sure, and give some food for thought. The book can really be flipped for a man or woman going through this similar roller coaster of craziness. But this book primarily centers on the woman, the female perspective of what Joyce goes through, what Lauren goes through, and just a hint about what Julian goes through. But it's primarily giving the female feelings, emotions, perspectives of this situationships. these entanglements. So some things I jotted down while reading this story are as follows. The idea that you stay in a marriage as long as there isn't physical abuse is like staying with the devil you know versus leaving and possibly struggling or being scared of the unknown. Another thought was that marriage is a contract. The vows and legalities make it so. And cheating is a breach of that contract. You know, the part where it says, forsake all others, you know, respect, honor, loyal. So if those vows are broken, it is essentially a dissolving of contract. And Vernon just ripped the contract to shreds. Also, having a baby is not a good way to try and fix a marriage. Bringing a child into dysfunction is not going to resolve the core issues of the relationship. Even if having a baby is the issue, one of the parties is reluctant and thus going through with it has one party feeling some type of way that may or may not dissolve. Okay, so you got two parties in the relationship. One desperately or wants to have a baby, the other one does not. If the situation arises and a baby comes out of that situation, the person that did not want to have a child, their feelings may or may not change because that child came into the picture. So you're going to have some added issues either way. So bringing a child into a relationship in attempt to fix it is just kind of irresponsible. And most oftentimes the child gets the hit. Okay. Also, the ideal of there is no such thing as a good man. Okay, so this was also part of the book. Okay, so it's also part of the book, and this is often a passed down idea and perspective. Peers, parents often project their feelings and views about intimate relationships onto another person. The comments and attitudes seep into the child and your young adult, and they either adopt that thought process and perspective or turn away from those thoughts and behaviors. So in this book specifically, the actions and perspective and views of the significant other or the marital partner have been passed down to the children. Number one, because they've had to witness it. They've had to hear fights. They've had to hear the sidebar conversations, direct comments to the children about the other parent or partner. And then the siblings have their own thoughts and views that have come out of this situation. So it's kind of almost like a trickle-down effect. The idea that all men are bad or all women are bad. You aren't going to find a good man or good woman if that is your outlook. Okay? If that's your outlook on them, it's negative. Okay? And thus your speech, your behaviors, and your actions project that you think men or women are bad. So you're going to repel a good man or a good woman because that thought process then trickles down to your behaviors, your words, your actions. And so, yeah, you're not going to find a good one because you automatically don't think they're out there. And unless you find one that is intent on doing the hard work it will take to change your mind, you will continue to view men or women as bad and thus have those negative, bad encounters. It all starts with your thinking. It starts with your thinking and it trickles down to your actions, your words, and your behaviors. And someone that is understanding of this can see that. They can hear that. And it repels them. Like, you could be a very good person, but if you encounter a person that never has anything good to say, has the, disparaging outlook on men, and thus they talk bad about men, they talk bad to men, the behaviors towards men are bad, or vice versa, women, you're more than likely not gonna keep a woman or a man. So that is some food for thought generated by the reading of this book. Okay, so you've got to read the book because there is some juiciness. I'm sure you can make some connections. I am sure you probably know some people in your real life that you like, yeah, we know some of them. Okay, so in this book, Lauren watched her mother and father's behaviors, and it caused her to distrust men. There ain't no good men up there. I saw my dad do this, or I saw my mom behave this way, and I'm not going to be like that. So she didn't want to endure the pain, the embarrassment, and consequences that her parents had for the sake of love. Lauren she didn't know how to love properly because of the examples that she saw. And because she didn't know how to love properly or receive love properly, she didn't want marriage or children for the fear of repeating the cycle. Kind of logical. Lauren didn't know if she could open herself up to love and have a happy ending. So you're going to have to read the book to find out if she could open herself up to love or not. Or would she stay in this role of a mistress? Or would she stay in this role of not trusting men and thinking all of them, will cheat? And could she be faithful to one man? The book has some triggers. Obviously cheating. There's domestic violence. There is death. There is mental illness, emotional and mental manipulation, and a health issue. I can't say any more about it because I want you to read the book. I don't want to give too much away. So you have to read the book to see how all of these things tie into the story. Okay. So during the time frame I was reading this book, I actually watched a movie and I can't remember the name of it, but there was a man that cheated on his wife and left her for the younger woman, the young, spunky, fun, exciting woman. And then he realized the other woman wasn't trying to do anything but lay up and have a good time. She wasn't even trying to cook him a meal, okay? So he carried his sad self back home and thought he could just pick up right where he left off with the wife and kids, right? And he knew he still wasn't going to do right, though. I mean, he just missed the good woman benefits he had received. So some people get hooked up with the wrong person and then realize the good thing that they had. And most oftentimes the damage has been done and it's too late to get that good thing back. So just keep that in mind. And this book, this movie tied into this book very well. I wish I could remember the name of the movie, but I can't. So I'm not going to even guess what the name of it was. But it tied into this book so well. So well. And yeah, it was like, whatever, guy. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. I did listen to the audiobook version, so I don't know if there's any discussion questions provided in the book. There are a few that I came up with. Obviously, views on cheating and what constitutes cheating. I think that has been a good hot topic debate about what is considered cheating. Yeah, I'd like to know what y'all thoughts are about that one. Is cheating a forgivable offense? What are your views regarding men or women in an intimate relationship? Do you think all men are bad? Do you think all women are bad? Do you just not have a good perspective or outlook about the man or the woman? Or do you have a positive outlook of men or women? Are there any passed down views about men or women that you have adopted or refuted? Thoughts on a child being put in the middle of adult business regarding a cheating entanglement situationship. What makes one cheat? Is it a slip up or a conscious decision? Why would a person put themselves in the position to be a mistress? Is there any benefits to being a mistress? Well, as you can see, the list could kind of go on and on. I mean, this could spider web so much that, yeah, I mean, you have to read the book. I am sure you will come up with some discussion questions after reading this. And these are just a few. I mean, like I said, there could be a whole laundry list of topics, hot topics that come from this book. Let me know if you came up with any other hot topics generated after reading this book. I do believe that this book can open up some really great dialogue. I mean, I know I'm laughing and I'm kind of being humorous about this. But on the flip side, it can be a very serious, hard discussion and topic. Obviously, it definitely could trigger some. But I wanted to make it light because the book for the most part is light. There are some heavy parts of the book. So I don't want you to think this is just a whole bunch of shenanigans. There are a whole bunch of shenanigans, but there is a level of some serious stuff that happens in this book. So I don't want to take away from that. There is some serious acts that take place. So that is in the book. All in all, this was a drama / action filled story that will have you most definitely turning the pages. Okay. As I said, I listened to the audiobook version, so I will have a picture of the cover of the book on this video, so you'll know what it looks like. But the narrator definitely did a good job of bringing the story to life. I would say it's a fairly quick read. It's really not that long. I want to say it's 8-9 hours on the audiobook, so somewhere around there. Not that long. You probably can get it done in a weekend. So it is a good, entertaining weekend type read. It did end with a cliffhanger, so I would be interested to see if there's a part 2 of this madness. I did do a quick research and I didn't see a part 2. I think this is an old publication. It's not like a new book. I think it was 2016. So it's not a new book. So there's been plenty of time for there to be a part 2 made. And from what I saw, there hasn't been, unless I just missed it. I didn't know. But I would like to see how the next chapter of this family's life plays out. Like I said, it did have a cliffhanger. It did not have too much of the brother Jillian in the book. And I mean, there was a bomb dropped about him too, but it really didn't say a whole heck of a lot about what was going on with him. And I kind of want to know how that plays out as well. I definitely want to find out how Lauren's next chapter in life happens. It left me on a note of hope and possibility for Lauren. Now, will it pan out that way? Well, I don't know. We have to see if the author decides to write a part 2. Where is part 2? This was written in 2016. Where is part 2? You cannot write these juicy books and then leave us hanging. That's just not right. It's just not right. We need the second book. At least wrap it up for us, okay? So, yeah. Angel Jordan, thank you for another good read. You're really on a roll here, okay, Angel Jordan. So I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was juicy. It definitely kept me turning the pages to find out how all of this pans out. It did give me some food for thought. So yes, it is a good read. Pick it up. I know it's an older book. It's not a new release, but it is still a good book. So go get it. Tell me what you think. So it's time to select the extra book for the month of June. Now, if you did not know, you can give me a book suggestion and it goes into this handy dandy vase. And once a month, I pick from this handy dandy vase a selection. And that is the extra book that I will read and do a review on. And obviously, you'll get your shout out just like Angel Jordan did for this book review. So you'll get your shout out, and we will see who it's going to be for the month of June. I love you, Angel, but I hope I pick somebody else this time, just to make it fair. I have no control. I don't know who I'm gonna pick. They're all thrown in there, and it is what it is. So keep your fingers crossed. And if other people start making book suggestions, then you have a better chance of getting picked. So let's do it. So are you serious? Okay, guys. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but okay. Like, hey, it is what it is. I mean, she is the one that has obviously made the most suggestions. I don't know what to tell you other than to start making suggestions, people. So, for the month of June, the book is going to be Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. Okay, so Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. This book selection was given by none other than Angel Jordan. Angel Jordan. Okay, so you are on a winning streak right now. Somebody else make a suggestion, okay? I know there are other suggestions in here, so I don't know why you... Obviously, they're different colors. So, evidently, this is not color-coded. These are two different colors. This is pink. This is orange. So, I'm not picking them by color, obviously. I mean, they're all mixed up. So, Angel Jordan, thank you so much for all of your book selections. I mean, at this point, you are a celeb on Reading with Reddick. I mean, you're like a reoccurring guest at this point. So, keep them coming, people, so you can get picked. So, until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.